All right, testing, 1, 2, 3. What's going on, fellow rogues? It's Mass Mayor here, and welcome in for a game I actually think I was going to end up playing again. But yeah, welcome back for pools. So, I played this around like 11 months ago. 11 months to, about 11 months to a year ago, give or take. Negligible difference in months. It's like close to a year. We'll just say that. But last time I played this, we did like what I thought was gonna be was gonna stay the full game, and lo and behold, the devs came out with a chapter 0 for this. It actually was a free chapter they added on. I think it was like around April 27th. I think they it released. It was back in April that it released. I kind of decided I wanted to kind of of course revisit this because this was a phenomenal backroom style game, and I've played like a few since then, such as I think was it Superliminal? No, it wasn't Superliminal. Liminal Core. Yeah, I played Liminal Core, and I tried to play Dream Core. I need to go back and try that again. But it seems like, following this, there's multiple games that have, seem like they've done, content or, done, a backroom style thing, focal, more than anything on the pools, level. And, there's nothing wrong with that, definitely. Because Liminal Core was still fun, even though it focused heavily on, the pools aesthetic. And, Dream Core, I know that it actually, has other places outside from the backrooms. I know the Liminal Core is supposed to have, some DLC coming eventually as well, so I'll be revisiting that. But, yeah, I will say, whenever, I do a game and it's pretty much the full game, and I actually, kind of mark it in my little, playlist on this channel, for my full games, and then, sometime later, basically it's, okay, it's done, and that was the full game, it's complete, then the dev said, oh, guess what, we got DLC coming out. I'm like, and because I had to go in and, change what was originally, full game, or, change, designation, the thumbnail, the title, and everything. I gotta go back and change that to number 1, and then change the part with the DLC to number 2. So because it ends up becoming a series out of nowhere. But yeah, I've got this listed as end. I don't know if the dev's gonna come out with a chapter 7 or whatever is possible. I mean, if so, I'll definitely be playing it. But if I've actually got this listed as end this time. The actual final stream for this until further notice. So either way, chapter 0. I'm excited to see how this goes because when I played this previously, I absolutely had a lot of fun with it. And it definitely took like a big turn at the end where I actually did get spooked some. I don't have like, the heart rate monitor or the scare counter on tonight, or I don't think I'm really going to need it. But at the same time, after what happened like at the end of the last stream, I might actually regret not turning all that on. But this isn't like necessarily like a really scary game, but it is like one of the better backrooms games I played. So anyways, we're going to go into chapter 0, which I'm assuming takes place before everything else. And just because this is chapter 0 doesn't mean this nulls out like, that slide that busted my ass like in the previous stream. I mean, it's been about a year later, but I ain't forgot. And they ain't gonna go do no chapter 0. But like, okay, this took place for everything, so that means like it didn't ever happen. No, BS, it actually happened. Y'all remember that slide? If you watched that video, you know that slide that I was about to file a lawsuit on this place. Yeah, this place, a massive like just health code violation. And also, one other thing before we actually get started, I want to kind of share with you guys in the event that anyone wants to play this. Because I can't remember what resolution it was when I played it before, but I know I was having like some frame rate issues, and maybe they actually ironed some stuff out since then. But just kind of run this by you guys because I was trying to tweak some stuff before I started the stream. So 1920 by 1080. I mean, this is like my monitor actually is I think it's a 4K or 2K monitor. I can't remember, but it's higher than 1080 or 1920 by 1080. I was trying to start the stream earlier, and I was doing this. I was trying to slide down, and it was going up and down like that, as you can see. And I was like, wait a minute, there's literally like no 1920. I literally thought these were the only options, like 2880 or whatever. If you're gonna try to play this, don't scroll. Don't do like basically you're gonna want like actually let me see, like yeah, you're gonna want to pretty much instead of like using the middle mouse wheel. Click on this, left click, and then and then scroll like that. Otherwise, it makes it seem like you've only got like these options because it goes from like top to bottom. I kind of like wish the devs would maybe streamline that a little bit so you can just use the middle mouse button, like to pretty much roll down. But make sure you like use left click to find your proper resolution. So, anyways, just wanted to run that by you guys, like a little troubleshooting thing in case anyone's played this and couldn't find the right resolution. That's the fix to it. But anyways, back to the game. All right, so on an elevator. So I'm gonna guess that this is gonna show how like our, unnamed protagonist got to the pools, because obviously we're not there yet. It looks like we're kind of like on a, on rails at the moment. Like they got like a specific path they're making us take. But I mean, it definitely seems like the frame rate's running like to me, it looks like it's running a little bit better. But again, it's been a while since I've played like this before. But we're gonna see like what happens. Also, let me kind of like get my that's like mic a little bit. Yeah. All right. Do we go down or? Cause I don't think I got a flashlight or anything. Okay. Looks like I can't really go anywhere here. All right. Yeah. Oof. Alright, so far, it's basically like on rails thing. And I don't think it's really going to take too long. I just want to kind of jump in and do... Okay, now this is gorgeous. Oh my god. I mean, some might not think that way, but just the fact that, it's one of those things where, like, this is like something you don't normally see with a liminal spaces game where you're actually outside the back rooms. And assuming we actually are, but I'm kind of like, just liking the attention to detail here. You see, like, all the little glimmering on the, this looks like, I guess, like, yeah, this looks like, train tracks. I love, like, the attention to detail and all. It's like the glimmering, the shimmering of the lights or whatever. So, yeah, to the devs, that's great. But also, I mean, y'all did, like, a great job on this. But they're definitely still selling the whole, like, backrooms concept here. It's kind of fun, like, the game, like, Liminal Core and those. And not dissing Liminal Core or Dream Core, but, the whole thing with, like, them, like, focusing on the pools. Like this game did. And now we got like a game right here that's basically it's about pools or whatever. They say out like on the box. It's about the pools or whatever, but here it is where like it seems like we're outside. And they're doing like this whole liminal concept here. Because the whole thing with liminal spaces, for those who don't know, is basically in the sense of you being in a wide open area. And it's just like a place that normally would have like life all around. Like, it can be anything. Like you can be in a McDonald's or whatever. Like it's abandoned, it's run out of business. And, it just no one in there. It's basically like a place that would normally be crowded. And it, would basically walk there by yourself. It's that whole, like, sense of isolation. Yeah, like, just an empty street can feel liminal. I mean, the truth is, if you really, like, kind of, like, get right down to it, Because we did our first, like, Gary's mod stream the other night. Gary's mod, a lot of the maps on there, if you were in there by yourself, they definitely have a liminal spaces vibe. Gary's mod can definitely have, like, the liminal spaces concept to it. Alright, so I guess we're going down here. But I guess, like, we're just gonna process vet. Okay, I was about to say. Process vet dark. If we were supposed to go down there, it's like, okay, so the protagonist decides, like, okay, the only way I can go is just down this big, massive dark hole. But I should just pay attention to the steps. And also, it's just the sound design's really good here, too. But yeah, I mean, they really put, like, some awesome attention to detail on this. I mean, the base game itself was, it was great. Okay, now we're definitely getting into it here. It kind of like feels like it's blending, because I know there's, like, a suburban map in the backrooms. There was one we actually played through, like, in Escape the Backrooms. Like, when me and my, friends, like, played that one. And I still say, no offense to the devs of Pools, but Escape the Backrooms is still, like, my favorite one I played so far. I can't wait for the DLC for that. But also, Escape the Backrooms was heavily relying on entities and everything. Oh, so we're actually swimming here. So definitely swimminal spaces. Now see, and this definitely could, like, hit someone, hit someone as far as thalassophobia is concerned. I mean, obviously, you can kind of, like, I guess it's not really as bad per se, because, you can see, like, it's not really that, it's not like a full-on ocean, but the way it's designed, you can't see up under the water. So, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be anything here unless the dev's going to pull a fast one on me. Yeah. But there are, like, a few other Backrooms games. Yeah. But welcome in, Jeremy. But yeah, this is basically, what I love about the base game. Like, the main, like, missions where, and there was 6 of those. I mean, it only took me about, like, probably, like, a bit around 2 hours and some change to actually, finish it. But it was definitely worth it. Oh, fucking hell. Here we go. Well, I mean, I was saying, like, I might have need the scare counter, but they're throwing the mannequins at me right away. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. I think it's a little bit tricky to see at times, but it also seems like they're doing a good job of, like, guiding you where you need to go, at the very least. But also, guys, I'll be right back. It lets me. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those games that's gonna, like, lag OBS on me. All right, guys, sorry about that. Anyways, so Let's see, which way we were going again? Okay, I think it was over here. Oh, it seems like, Alright, now they kind of mix things up a little bit more now where they're kind of, like, seem like they're giving, like, different directions we can go. Alright, never mind. Because our boy right here can't jump. I also know they did change some things up about, like, the actual base game, too. Like, they made, like, some improvements to it. Like, then they added some stuff, changed stuff. Like, hopefully they took that one slide out that tried to kill me last time. Okay, so I can just push it open. Alright. So my guess is we're not actually gonna get... I thought I saw something there. Okay, that was just a trick of the light. Okay. Alright, so yeah, the devs definitely, like, you know, we're on point with, It looks to me like it's slowly transitioning over into pools. I guess the only way we can go, or... Okay. Definitely creepy room. Creepy. Alright, what do we got in here? I can't get in there all the way. Okay, I can't open that one up. Yeah, that one's stuck. This one. There we go. Suicide door number 3. First off, we're not degenerates here. We make sure we close our doors back. Because maybe... Or whatever. I tend not to close it back. I just open it in another direction. Okay, then. Alright, so I guess we gotta get over there to where that blue light... Where the blue light is. Didn't we just go upstairs? So this game is kind of like, you know, it's going that route. We're going that way, rogues. I mean, we're going this way, but also that way in regards to them, like, you know, already, like, you know, pulling the shenanigans. Oh my god. Okay. I was about to say, like, it was pretty dark. All things considered, that looks like a cozy bed. That's the thing, like, you know, some of the rooms aren't that bad when you have furniture in them. I'd like leave something in there to make it look less empty. But still, you know, it's not people. I mean, Soylent Green is people, but we're not going to go into that one. Go. See, it's kind of funny because now it's looking like hotels. Whoa, what the fudge? The thing is, I should just be, like, you know, remembering this is normal for the back rooms. Whoa, but that... Okay, yeah, let's not go down there. Okay, is this room normal? Well, I mean... Somewhat. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Blinding light's blinding. I can't see, and this is kind of like, you know, this is like a little trippy. Like, everything is so, like, you know, mirror sheen here that it's kind of... It plays tricks on you a little bit. Cause, like, look like right there. Like, literally right here, it looks like there's a gap, there's like a hole in the floor. But it's just like, you know, it's the reflection right there. That's really well done. Welcome in, Sammy. Welcome in, Salty as well. Hope you guys are doing alright. Alright. Alright, that's fine, Sammy. We'll lurk away. Okay, now this actually is really trippy. I can finally do my McDonald's. I like show y'all why I was like the McDonald's place hide and seek champion of, you know, throughout my childhood. Not during summertime, because God knows the stack electricity on those slides sucked. I think I made that joke last stream. You know, I was talking about like how I like, you know, used to go up the McDonald's, like the slides in the McDonald's place. Oh, All right, Pennywise, we ain't doing this now. Better be counterclockwise. I don't know where the other 99 red balloons are, but... "99 red balloons floating in the summer sky." I just kind of like how the way the devs are doing this one. They've made things a lot more diverse. Like, obviously, with the pools thing is, like, a lot of everything looked, the same. In regards, like, just the floaty stuff, the water, and the tiles and everything. But it seems like there's so much here. It's like, it's so diverse. Like, every time you go into a new spot. The newest It. Are you talking like Welcome to Derry? Is that out yet? Are you talking about like Welcome to Derry, or are you talking about I think it was Welcome to Derry, or like the one that came out like a few years ago, like actually several years ago at this point, like the remake of the original, the one like where Bill Skarsgård first played Pennywise. I highly recommend it. Definitely recommend it. I mean, it's one of those things where Bill plays his own version of Pennywise. He's not as campy as Tim Curry was. Because Tim Curry was like outright scared, like, was campy. He kind of like had some serious Joker vibes. And of course, like, one of the most famous scenes from the original, like, in the library, which is like one of my favorites. Like, I crack up every time. You're hi. Like when he was just... yeah, it's definitely worth it. Because like the original was definitely horrifying, but this one is just they kind of take a lot of it up to 11. I highly recommend it. I mean, at first I was kind of skeptical, and that's actually what made me a fan of Bill Skarsgård. Because one of like the cool things about it is that the whole cross-eyed thing. Yeah, like how they had the whole cross-eyed thing that Pennywise did in the movie. That was actually Bill. Like Bill actually can control his eyes individually. So there wasn't like CGI, it wasn't anything like that or whatever. It wasn't like, any kind of effects. He literally actually was able to like, make his eyes like, go in different directions. Because there's like a thing like online where, one of the co-stars, I can't remember if it was the guy that played Dwight on The Office. I know for a fact, I can't remember if he was Dwight. I don't think he was Dwight. I can't remember what he played in. I want to say I think he was in House of a Thousand Corpses. I can't remember like which character he played like when he was growing up, but he actually did it like did the walleye thing in front of him like while he was in costume, or did like the whole like eye thing in front of him, and it actually spooked me on, and it showed like someone like it basically like it was like someone like was like taking pictures of it from afar, and it showed him like actually walking away or running away creeped out. And I've also heard like another thing that really got me a lot of respect for Bill was that I think like after like any of the scenes like involving like the Losers Club when they were kids, I think like after like each of the scenes he was actually going up to him and checking on, make sure he didn't scare them too bad, or make sure he didn't scare them. And that's one that definitely got me a lot of respect from him. I mean, that's what I heard happen. I mean, I honestly kind of feel like that would be the case. And like Skarsgård seems like he'd probably be like the kind of person to do that. Okay, do I have to go down here? Okay, yeah, that was not supposed to happen. Okay, and that right there, can I look down here? I don't know if I want to. Okay. Alright, yeah. But yeah, I highly recommend it. They did do a lot of things differently, which is understandable. But let's just say like some of the ways that he scared the kids compared to the original were actually better. And one thing also, like the kid that plays Richie in this one, which was Finn, or is it Finn? I can't remember his name, but he was Mike on Stranger Things. And he also was in like Ghostbusters, you know, the Ghostbusters, you know, new ones, like new Ghostbusters movies. I think it's Finn Wolfhard. Okay, yeah, I got it right. It was Finn. I just couldn't like, you know, remember his last name. I knew it was Wolf something. But he, like, you know, all of them did great. But, you know, he was great as Richie. Just because it seemed like so, like, it's just because, like, the way he played the character. Because you think about, like, him from Stranger Things. You know, how Mike, you know, was, like, pretty laid back for the most part. And then, like, you know, you go into this and, like, he's using profanity and he's, like, wisecracking and everything. I was thinking about Shrek after, like, you know, playing through the DLC last night, but I haven't really decided yet. See, now, like, honestly, Salty's got me wanting to watch it, you know, the remake of it, now that we're talking about it. Okay, now I'm just trying to figure out where to go here. I know, oh yeah, I was just kind of like looking over there. Yeah, I was trying to, like, you got me looking at my horror shelf, because I was like, wait a minute. Like, I was trying to remember, I thought I had a Pennywise figure, but I couldn't remember if I had that one, like, you know, the one of Bill. Bill's Pennywise and Tim Curry. I still need to get a Tim Curry one. Because that was one of the things that was great about it, the fact that they both played the roles so well, so it's like, you know, they had their own take on it. So someone would probably like try to argue like which is better between like, you know, Tim Curry and Bill, you know, Bill Skarsgård, and I was like, well, I like them both like a lot, you know, I can't really compare them because they had like different styles to it. Again, Tim Curry was like very campy with his delivery of Pennywise. Bill Skarsgård was like outright terrifying. Like they had like those moments where like, you know, it's like, you know, Tim Curry's version, like, you know, he was really campy at times, joking and everything, but then when he got serious, you know, he was creepy, very creepy. But Bill Skarsgård, like, everything he did was creepy. Yeah, definitely do not watch me and drive. No. Make sure you focus on the road. Yeah, for sure, man. Okay, so we went that way before. I said, yeah, we had to go back up here. They just... Oh, you son... They Wile E. Coyote'd me. Devs, that was great. That was cool. That was awesome. They straight Wile E. Coyote'd me. And the way it looks right here, the way... That's some pretty damn good design. Because you look at it from afar right here, and the way it looks, it actually makes it seem like the stairs actually, you know, kind of, you know... From this direction, it seems like you're actually looking directly at it. And then you go back over here, and it kind of seems like, you know, it's... You're just looking at them at an angle. Okay, that definitely had, like, you know, take some... Like, some, you know, some effort to design it like that. Yeah. All right, good job, devs. But they definitely Wile E. Coyote'd me. It's just, thankfully, it wasn't one of those things where I was the one that painted it. And then you see, like, someone walk right up there, and I try to do it, and I face plant to the wall. That's basically what happened, like, you know, in Looney Tunes. Okay, so you're not supposed to go down there either, huh? Okay. Like, that was, like, the whole thing where, you know, Wiley would, like, you know, make, like, the, painting on the wall or whatever. Then next thing, like of a road. Roadrunner would run through there, and then he'd stand in front of him, and then, like, a truck would hit him or something. Maybe we just gotta go this way? Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. Okay, this is the way we gotta go. Wait, hold on a sec. We came through here already. Nuh-uh. I ain't falling for it again. So that means I walked through here before, but didn't look out the window. Alright, so... Down this way? Okay, I think it's down here. If not, I can just go back up. Okay, yeah, we're on the other side of this now, so this should be the right way. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. The only way to go here is down. Well. Okay, yeah, now it's looking like the pools. Yep. Okay, that little effect right there, like walking through the water and splashing on your face, that was good. Because that's the main thing for me here, like, you know, it's like... I've done played, like... I like how I was about to say I'm not really spooked, and then, like, the pipes creaked. If that's what that was. But, yeah, it's... For me, it's like... It's the sound design, you know, I'm just like more, I'm like, you know, just kind of like, you know, right here, like just really focal on the visuals, the sound design and everything. Because I know, like, it pretty much really shouldn't be anything that's actually going to kill me, but obviously there's a possibility this guy's just going to be, like, the environment. That's how liminal spaces games work. But the back room, like, escape the back rooms, of course, went with the whole route of... Oh, wow. You know, I would say having entities, but I know there's no entities in this. But they're... Whoa, what is that? I think I gotta go down to it. Okay, yeah, things are starting to get wild here. I don't know if I should go down to the big, you know, big Loki mask from the mask. Go down to its gaping maw. Did I just get eaten? Uh-oh. Don't tell... Okay. Oh, see, I actually went inside its mouth. Alright, so... Platonically speaking, mine's out of the gutter. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I thought, like, I was gonna, like, you know, get rewinded, right? Like, I thought it was gonna, like, chomp down or something. Okay, is there ever gonna be, like, a... Okay, now this would definitely trigger someone's thalassophobia. No doubt. This is very oceanic. Very subnautical. Or whatever. Okay, hold on. Am I supposed to, like... Okay, I think I see something here. Can I go up still? Okay, I can't go up any higher. Okay, see, I can see we're at the surface, but they won't let me go through, so there's something down here I gotta find. This room was really, I wish I could have a flashlight, but I can see, like, that's, I guess they want it to be like this. Obviously, you had a flashlight, you could easily see where to go. Hold on, I wonder if it has something to do with these lights here. It's not that. I don't even know what that is. I mean, maybe I gotta follow it? 'Cause it's going the other direction now. Oh, shit, what was that? Okay, that, I don't know what happened, but something definitely happened. Hold on a second. Maybe they're telling me to go in here. I think it was the lights. Yeah. Is this a sub? I think it's a submarine. Okay, so I think it seems like we're putting a lot of emphasis on you going in here. Here we go. I did that weird thing again. Yeah, I feel like I should be safe, you know. Alright, I think we're finally getting out of here. Random chairs. Yeah, something storm approaching. I think I made that joke before. Okay, now that looks cool. I'm just curious about, like, what is it keeps on, like, maybe we're gonna see what's making all that noise, but alright, but this is beautiful. This is, like, some very awesome architecture here. Yeah, the devs really did a good job with this. And do we just drop her? That's weird. Did it reset me back to the submarine where we were? Because, I mean, there wasn't a rewind there that time. I think I was supposed to go... Let me see. No. I mean... Yeah, this is back where we were, it looks like. I can't go through the door. Okay, so yeah, I guess I gotta go back this way. I'm kind of having a feeling that spinny thing was like something very important. It was kind of like one of those things like, hey, you can't touch this yet. See, but it's like we're going back through here. I'm hoping that the game didn't glitch. Or it's doing that. See, that's the thing. I don't know why. I don't know if they're trying to put emphasis like the guy I'm playing as is drowning or something, or. Looks to me like we gotta like head back out this way. Was this way open before? Yeah, okay, it was. At least I'm kind of like, you know, having like catch my bearings here a little bit, you know, now we gotta go back out here, I think. Okay, now the question is, what do we do next? Oh shoot, I just realized that's I think it's made of stone, but that's a tentacle. I mean, I assume it's made of stone. I don't know. And I see there's a bunch of these things now. Are they telling me to go back in, or do we gotta follow this one? There's one that's going off the beaten path here. Just weird. See, it's like they're going right into the wall. There's nothing there. Just gotta go up a little bit. I'm just hoping the game didn't glitch, you know, and I was like, and I somehow locked myself out, like, you know, I went down in the hole or whatever, and locked myself out. But this one's going over this way now. It really feels like they're sending to these lights, like they're trying to tell me to go somewhere, but. What the hell? Is this normal? Alright, yeah, devs, I think I might have found a glitch here. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but there's a part here where I can walk. Yeah, I think that might have been a glitch. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I mean, I feel like it could be a place for someone to kind of, you know, get away from the swimming. But yeah, alright, maybe we gotta go back in here. I'm just hoping like it didn't, like the game didn't break. Maybe there's like, you know, a direction here I wasn't paying attention to. Gotta keep going this way, but alright, wait, yeah, actually I can't. Okay, I'm gonna go back in here and see if there's something I missed. Because normally I could just like walk right into the doors, but maybe with these, like I actually got like, you know, press E to interact with them. Just the way like the swimming sections are here is definitely kind of has like a claustrophobic vibe to it. They'd like make it where you can swim really fast to get on out of it. I know this would probably be a nightmare for someone like with thalassophobia, if like you couldn't move fast. I mean, it'd be bad enough as is. Okay, I'm gonna go up and see that I missed something up here. Can I push E to interact with? I can't interact with it. I really hope the game didn't glitch on me. Again, there's this right here. I literally can't do anything. So, I'm hoping I didn't encounter some kind of game-breaking bug. But, I don't know. I keep on feeling like, you know, it's the way it just suddenly kind of like just popped me out, like, you know, after I went down the hole, and it seemed like that was the way they were telling me to go. Okay, let me, okay, I'll figure it out. First kind of show I could reload. But I don't know how far back it would set me if I did that, is the problem. Because the last thing I want to do is have to, like, restart and do all this all over again. The issue is, like, it's so hard to see out here. And everything is pointing right there, like, telling me I need to go this way, but... I also wonder if it actually could be I gotta go down here to this now. maybe I actually went down to the mouth, like, you know, too early, and actually I'm supposed to do this at some point. It's not doing anything. Huh? Oh, what is it up with this game? Well, okay, well, at least good news is, Rogues, it wasn't a game-breaking glitch. It kind of felt like it was. Someone makes paint with the water is a real... I got some kind of a trophy right there. Alright, but again, like, all this is gorgeous. Now I can actually come in here and, like, look at it a bit more. Well, this is someone makes paint with the water. There you go. Yeah, and they definitely do the water really well. Like, that's, like, the main selling point, you know. That's one reason why, like, you know, I think sometimes, like, I think, like, it chugged last time, whatever. Like, I'm listening to my computer over here. It sounds almost like a jet engine. I mean, obviously it doesn't, but because the water effects are so, you know, well done. Like, that's the main selling point of this. Like, they did such a great job with the water. I was keeping an eye on. Like, I remember things like, I can't remember if it was Liminal Core, which game I played or whatever. I think it was like Dream Core, where like, yeah, it was Liminal Core and Dream Core. I think where like the eyes were following me. Like I said, I just can't wait for, like, you know, the new content to drop for Escape the Backrooms. I know the guys are gonna like you to be chomping at the bit to get on that one, because we had so much fun playing through, like, you know, everything before. Okay, what's it? Okay, something looks like a big... Am I about to be impressed again? Oh, yeah, here we go. This is what we dealt with, like, you know, I think, like, previously. Oh, yeah. Believe me, I mean, I'm definitely am too. I mean, there's, like, you know, there's another guy called Backrooms Escape Together that I was going to jump on with Mac. I mean, I don't know if it's 4-player. I was just did all that. I was wondering if I can actually, you know, run around that, like Sonic style. Alright, so let's see what's down here. And it's kind of like tricky for me to do commentary with games like this too, because it's just exploration, no combat, like no fighting or anything. It kind of makes me think like Power Simulator a little bit. But Escape the Backrooms, like, I mean, I definitely had some commentary on that. We all did. Because I had, like, you know, people I was able to kind of, like, you know, bounce stuff off of. Oh, don't do that. I like that imagine, like, all those numbers was actually different floors for the bathrooms. Backrooms. Okay, yeah, so we finally got around over this side. Because, like, you know, remember that before where we saw, like, the sign, so... It just seems like all this is us just actually properly getting into the pools. And I think this is definitely, like, a really solid, Chapter 0 for people to jump on. But I can't remember, I want to say I thought, like, they said, like, you... Partygoers. Party time. As long as they don't pop up. Because what I like about this is, like, it hints at other rooms from the back rooms, but it focuses on pools. So, like, really the devs, they wanted to, they could actually do, like, a series, you know, where they actually, you know, do the other rooms. There's that balloon again. But yeah, like, I think what I can't remember. They said you had to complete like complete part 6 to be able to play this. But personally, it'd be cool if they actually just made where you can play this right off the bat. I can't I can't remember in the update if it said like you had to like play through the game first or play to a certain spot. Okay, it's like everything's tilted here. That's pretty trippy. Yeah, they kind of like to have everything tilted. Okay, let's keep going. Only thing is I'm going to have to go into one of these rooms. I don't know which one it is, but one of them's going to, like... Might be this one. Okay, yeah. At least he moves faster underwater. I gotta use this guy in sharks and minnows. And that, that's a big-ass hell no. Let's jump down here. Yeah, it's definitely kind of giving me, I mean, I was never on the Titanic, of course. Obviously, I wasn't on the Titanic. But it kind of, like, gives me, like, makes me wonder if this is actually kind of like how things went a little bit when the ship was sinking. Or, like, it was tilting or whatever. There's a door down here. I'm gonna go check this one out. And I'm gonna go back. Hang on. Yeah, see, you can just go and stay your ass down here. I'm going right back up there. See, this is why, you just take the path like you normally supposed to take, James. You don't go down there and just, like, find random creepy stuff. Because that's where it is. Creepy stuff would be, like, in the creepy spot. Down below, like... We're like, why is this guy's gonna come in here trying to find something, cool? But we're gonna, like, give him something creepy. Yeah, I'm going to just get my ass back out here for, like, that thing comes up with rubber duck wherever it's... Let me out, okay? No, He can stay down there. Okay. Because my main concern is if I'm seeing one mannequin or whatever, they're going to start popping up everywhere like they did last time. Gotta hate when I yawn midstream. Alright, so let's, this way? No, you shut up. Don't tell me to shut up, you shut up. Tell me to shut up. Okay, now this area, see, now this is like, definitely could play in some fears too. It's not just the wide open space, thalassophobia or whatever, but just like the whole thing of like just that foreboding darkness, that one, pipe right there. Definitely kind of gives vibes like, someone's gonna come out and start chasing me. Let me shut up. It's finally gotta climb all the way down the ladder just to, let me look at it. I shouldn't have looked at it. And they're doing it. But I just like turned things up a little bit and I just realized there was actually a sound coming out of there. Okay, hold on a sec. Here we go. Alright, this way. No, I can't go that way. Darn. I know I need to get on out of here. Okay. Like, obviously there's something I gotta do here. Hold on, just... Okay, that's the way we went. There's another one over here. There's another path this way. No, I thought it was. Oh. Darn it. There's gotta be an alcove I'm missing somewhere. There's gotta be something. Or, you know, I could just... Wait a minute, hold on a second. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna kick myself. I did what I think I did. I'm gonna get one... My stupid self walked right by this elevator. Walked right by this ladder. And there's that one door up here. They were like... It seems like they were trying to put some... focus on. Because if I look around here... So you got that door right there. If I turn around... I get up here. Yeah, see, we were over there before. We saw this. This place is still a safety hazard waiting to happen. I'm having to spend just turn a corner and just see safety hazard. I'm just having to spend like turn a corner at one point and just get like immediately bitch slapped by a mannequin. Okay, before out door. What is your problem? That door just. Well, I said like talk about a mannequin slapping me and the door hit me. Watch it. Well, the last thing I need is like a door with an attitude problem. He's huffing it down those stairs. Okay, now that sound design there is... Ooh. Okay. They just let waste my time, don't they? Hey, I'm gonna find a little Easter egg. So then hopefully ain't a mannequin. No, I don't even get that. I see how it is, game. I see exactly how it is. Now, if you know, I don't like you too much. Watch it, door. Okay, let's look and see what's there is. Okay, let's look up here first before I continue onwards. Oh, what the fudge? Okay, it was just lit up. That was weird. I could swear like there was like a way up over a second ago. Unless I was missing something. Okay, now this is definitely spoopy. What's going on, Goma? I mean, look, okay, you know, any Legend of Zelda fan here, like, you know, watching this, would the first thing to say will be, looks like Goma. Okay, at least I ain't following me. I just had to open my big fucking mouth, didn't I? What do you want? Okay, look, I'm gonna go down here. You can just go and just keep looking. I don't care. I'm going where I dang well please. Get some Visine. Rubber ducky, you're the one. Okay, I thought it might have been an Easter egg to that or whatever, like find or like achievement. Okay, now it's definitely looking. I swear, not let me turn around and see that eye looking at me. Was that supposed to spook me? Or have you know it didn't work? Yeah, probably just like, you know. I honestly thought that picture was flipping me off for a second. Okay, wait a minute. We're sitting down here? Or is he just resting? Thought we were supposed to do that. Okay. Get up, dork. If I heard, if like, you know, if like, if I don't think there's any phones here, but if, like, I got a phone call saying I was gonna die in 7 days. I don't know why that thing kind of felt a little in-game-ish. But I think it's safe to say we're definitely pretty much in the pool. Like, it's like it's gradually putting us in the pools area. Okay. Alright, well, Virgil's finest, again. Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't be too... Yeah, well, no shit. I mean, I probably wouldn't be, like, you know, too alive either if I jumped off a diving board, like, straight to hell. Just because we were talking about Pennywise earlier doesn't mean that your big bozo looking stuff need to show up there. Okay. There's a way down. I was making like I go down the stairs. I was making like the Tim Curry joke, like the whole like, you know, Pennywise in the library. Then I go down here, and all I hear is what? Obviously I can't do it as good as Tim Curry did, but. Hey Richie, is your refrigerator running? Who in the hell pissed in your cornflakes this morning? Was that it? Okay, that was it. I like how basically like get there at the end or whatever, and it's like, you know what? I'm about to like. So I just like to imagine that Goma, like the jokes I was making, actually made it cry, and like, and it just cried so much that it sent me flying like right down, like he made fun of me, boo-hoo, and then suddenly like just a massive flood of tears, just like, you know, and that's how your trip to the back room started, into the pool started. You made like a giant Elder Abomination cry. But anyways, guys, yeah, I think it was only like about 42 minutes of that or whatever, if this like time is right on this. I don't know, it definitely felt like I was live longer than that. But also, like I said, OBS is kind of like, you know, skipping a beat like on its time or whatever, because like it for some reason, this game and some others I played, like, it made it where, like, as long as I'm clicked on it, like, OBS, like, the actual, you know, it for some reason, it slows it down, like, the little bar that, like, shows my volume for my voice. It kind of, like, just sticks where it is. I mean, it's still working, but it's like, I think it's because, like, you know, just how much this game kind of, like, makes my computer chug. It did last time, too. Trying to see, like, if, because it feels like I've been live longer than 42 minutes. And if you know, I didn't expect this to be, like, a long stream anyway. It doesn't really say, like, how long I've been live, you know, right there, or whatever I was checking. But either way, I was just trying to make sure that times were lined up right. But I'll know properly, of course, when I end the stream. But yeah, I gotta say, that was definitely, like, a really solid, DLC. And the fact that it was free, you know, makes it even better. I mean, like I said, I personally would really like to see, like, the devs, like, you know, branch off and do, like, you know, games for, like, some of the other backrooms levels, you know, considering, like, how much attention to detail they did to this and gave, like, the pools its own mythos. I think, like, what I've all, like, recalled of the backrooms is that, you know, what I've been, like, kind of looking into is that normally the pools level, isn't actually, like, dangerous. Like, there's normally not supposed to be entities there. That's the thing, like, with the backrooms. Like, there are some areas that don't have entities, but there's others that do. So realistically, if you're stuck in the bathrooms, you could actually, you know, like, stay on one floor. I think there's, like, some of them where it is self-sustaining. Like, there actually do have floors where they do have, like, pretty much infinite supplies of food, if I'm correct, you know, like, sustenance. So technically, you could stay there and sustain yourself. But obviously, you know, I feel like there'll probably, like, still be, like, something that would, like, you know, that would be a hit to your sanity, being stuck in this location, knowing you can't get out. And basically, no one's going to know where you are. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can eat. You can, you know, you have a place to sleep, place to eat and everything. I mean, because I understand, like, you know, if you got other people there with you and you're stuck together, so still it could be like a cabin fever concept there. But I kind of, like, look at it in the sense that would be, like, kind of like a Walking Dead-ish scenario. It's like you got a place you're safe right there, away from, like, the stuff that can kill you. And you got, I think, but I can't remember which floors it was, but I think some of them do have, like, infinite supplies of sustenance. So realistically, you could live there. But I kind of feel like, you know, that whole sense of isolation, knowing you're never going to be able to get out of there, I feel like it would be kind of like somewhat of a personal hell as well. But either way, that was still, like, really solid. If they do, like, a episode 7, definitely I'll jump on that too. But that was, like, really cool how they did that. Like, again, like, it felt like they did their own it's kind of like, you know, awesome how they kind of did a thing where they still played the pools into it with, like, the water and all that, but you weren't actually in the pools yet. Like, obviously, the whole thing with the pools is, you know, that right there, of course, like, you know, with, like, part 1, you know, like, right here, you know, basically that and that. Like, that's what you normally see pools as, you know, like, the pools that, you know, the pool rooms. It's always been about the white tiles, and it just literally is, like, you know, the whole concept of the way, like, you normally, you know, see it in a backrooms game, you can almost smell the chlorine. That's kind of like the vibe I've gotten here. Even though, obviously, I had no chlorine around me when I played this before, it's like, for some reason, I felt like I was smelling it, because just how realistic it all looked. So, overall, though, like I said, it would be cool to see the devs, like, you know, try to maybe branch into some of the other, like, you know, non-entity populated backroom spots and do, like, some games based around them if they want to continue to go the whole route of, like, you know, games that where you're not actually being hurt, you know, attacked by anything. There's nothing that can actually kill you, and it's all just purely atmospheric. Because again, when you got a game that basically, you know, gives you creepy vibes, and it's just the sound design and just the, you know, visuals pretty much, you know, tell the story. When you got something like that, they can definitely, like come off as creepy and even, like, you know, scary at times. Because there was part of things like, you know, the original, like when I played the main game, it actually did spook the hell out of me. But you do that when there's no active threat, but you can make the player think there's a threat and make them feel like they're being watched consistently. You've, you know, done a really good job with a horror game. You know, if you're not relying on jump scares and just pure atmosphere, without, like, you know, a whole bunch of jump scares and just the sound design, you know, the design of, like, you know, the layout, like, of the area as far as, like, graphics are concerned, just the way things look, you know, that is basically, you know, signs that you've done a really good horror game. I mean, it's not like knocking some games out there that definitely do, like, have, like, you know, their fair share of jump scares, like Outlast and such. But there are, like, those games that rely on them way too much to where it gets watered down. But if you can find that balance between, like, you know, having some jump scares periodically, but not enough to where, like, it kind of desensitizes the player to liking things. It's like, okay, this is going to become more of an annoyance now. If you can kind of, like, you know, have that balance where, you know, you got, like, jump scares to, you know, enough of a point where it's bearable, it doesn't actually really take away from, like, the story, that's good. But if you got a game where there's no jumps, like, really just purely atmospheric like this, to me, that's even better, because that shows, you know, that if you can make, like, a compelling horror experience without any of that, without like active threat, and just like the making it give those vibes like something's hunting you, wanting to kill you. Think about like what the dev could do if they actually were like putting like some jump scares and an actual entity in there. So I'd like to see like the devs of this game do something else, do like something else. I mean, as far as like the other backrooms levels, and I feel like they definitely could, because this game like is very popular. A lot of people absolutely loved it, and so I'm pretty sure like the devs will hopefully have the funding to be able to the funding and the the reputation now to be able to come out with like with another game if they want to focus on more of the backrooms levels and actually have people like definitely jump on it. Like, there's like so much potential. There's like so many different like floors of the back rooms, and it definitely seemed like they were trying to like hint at some of it here. Like, obviously there was like a spot that looked like it was the pool, like it was like the party room, like where the party goers are. But of course, like when we play the Escape the Backrooms, then like the party goers thing is like, it's obviously known there are hostile entities there. And I think like when I played like the base game of this, like without the DLC before about a year ago, I think there was like one spot where they did like the fluorescent lights, garish yellow walls, and like in the moist carpet, basically I think like floor 1 or floor 0. So they kind of hinted at like other backrooms, levels in in the chapters, including chapter 0. And it would be cool to kind of see them do something more with that, like the Dream Core Escape. See them do something with like like all the endless houses. Some of maybe the ones that like haven't really gotten like as much of much time, like in the spotlight, which can't really say like a lot about, because like I said, I'm still like trying to be versed. I'm trying to get myself versed on a lot of background stuff, but I know there's like so many levels that probably haven't actually really been put in the video into actual game format. But anyways, that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I know this is a short stream. It was like less than an hour as far as I can tell, like if like OBS is right, because like I said times before where I've had like a game like that kind of like made my computer chug. It's like the time, and not just the game. It's not just like the my audio thing, like showing like my talking and all that, or showing my voice monitoring. Not only was that like kind of like laggy, but also like the time like seemed like it was skipping. So it actually could be that I have been like live longer. But either way, if it's 49 minutes or like it actually is longer, and like for whatever reason OBS didn't actually keep up properly with the time, still had fun with the stream. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the stream, be sure to like, comment, and share. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate you doing that as well, since we are coming up on 1,000 subscribers on here. Still trying to work my way towards that, and have that milestone. Considering possibly doing like maybe some kind of like game giveaway like when I reach it or whatever, but I haven't decided yet. Probably gonna do so, since it is like the big milestone I've been trying to reach for a while. And also, if you aren't on Discord server, feel free to join that as well. But anyways, until next stream, much love. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow for what's gonna be my final stream before I go on vacation. But telling you guys be safe, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks for watching.